Well, the truth is, I don't actually know. I didn't leave Wheeler Dealers for that reason. I left because
Edd China, known for his formidable engineering skills and larger-than-life personality, has been struck by a devastating tragedy, leaving his fans stunned. The creative mechanic has faced a personal loss that has deeply affected him. But what heartbreaking event has Edd endured, and how has this impacted his life? Join us as we explore the story. Edd China was born in London in 1971. While most children watched cartoons, Edd was in the garage getting his hands on classic cars. He had a curiosity about how every toy, every gadget works. Edd was determined to crack open everything he could find and see what was happening inside. His parents quickly realized they weren't dealing with a typical child. While most kids want new toys for their birthday, Edd wanted tools and spare parts to experiment with, and within no time, his love for mechanics turned into a complete engineering project. He wasn't interested in simple toys. He wanted to invent. Even before he hit his teenage years, it was clear Edd's brain worked differently. Where others saw junk, he saw potential. School wasn't always a perfect fit for Edd. The classrooms felt limiting, but his real passion excelled far beyond just education. What really stood out was his fascination with machines. It wasn't enough to just fix things. He wanted to create things no one had seen before. By the time he reached adulthood, his towering 6'7" frame made him impossible to miss. But it wasn't just his size that got people talking. It was his wild ideas. The kid who once dismantled old bikes and appliances was dreaming up inventions that would eventually shock the world. Those early years, filled with broken gadgets, crazy experiments, and stubborn determination, shaped the Edd China fans would come to know. The engineer, the inventor, the TV star who never stopped chasing impossible ideas. It became clear that he wasn't built for an ordinary life. But unlike most young adults looking for a safe career path, Edd wanted to create things that turned heads, broke records, and proved that engineering didn't have to be boring. After graduating from Brunel University with a degree in engineering and product design, things moved fast after that. His first project was a motorized sofa that actually drove on public roads. And once people saw a couch cruising down the street with Edd behind the wheel, they knew he was about to change the automotive world forever. In the next few years, he began creating even bigger projects, and everywhere he went, Edd showed his deep knowledge of mechanics, design, and engineering. Behind every build, there was a purpose. With enough determination and technical skill, you could build the impossible. With Edd's growing fame, TV producers watched Edd's real skills, real knowledge, and a refreshing personality that made viewers believe they could do the same. It was the foundation of everything that came later. In the early 2000s, producers launched a unique car show named Wheeler Dealers, focused on restoring classic vehicles and teaching viewers every step of the process. Edd's enthusiasm for innovation made him the obvious choice. Alongside an experienced car dealer named Mike Brewer, Edd refused to follow the rules. He always turned his childhood dreams into real-world machines. His inventions made him a cult figure. Meanwhile, Wheeler Dealers was about to launch him into worldwide fame. Then, something strange happened. The tensions behind the scenes couldn't stay buried for long. In 2017, fans of Wheeler Dealers could sense something was off. The show didn't feel the same. The energy between Edd China and Mike Brewer wasn't as sharp. The questions started building, but no one expected what came next. On March 21, 2017, Edd China made a big decision. After 13 seasons, Edd decided to leave Wheeler Dealers. For fans, it felt impossible to imagine the show without him. Edd wasn't just a presenter, he was the heart of the garage. His departure left a wound that never fully healed, and the explanation only deepened the mystery. Edd posted a video revealing what had really been happening behind the scenes. He explained that Wheeler Dealers was now under a new production company. They demanded changes to the show's entire process. According to Edd, the plan was to drastically reduce the workshop content, the deep dives into car repairs, the detailed restorations, and the educational side of the show. Instead, it only made him more determined. He focused on showing the real process and the challenges faced during the restoration. That wasn't all. The network disagreed with him, and it became clear the producers weren't going to back down, so Edd decided to walk away from the show that didn't respect his decisions. The backlash was immediate. Fans were furious. Some blamed the network, others blamed Mike Brewer. Some fans believed that money was the reason. Others speculated about personal tensions between Mike and Edd. And then came the biggest surprise of all. Back then, his departure from Wheeler Dealers felt personal to millions of viewers. They started demanding answers. At first, Edd blamed the production company on technical repairs and faster episodes. However, others believed Edd's talents came with a price the network refused to pay. His detailed workshop scenes made the show valuable, but the production wanted Edd gone, not because they hated him, but because he was too expensive to keep the show running. But not everyone blamed the production company. Mike Brewer targeted Edd on the show. Their friendship was only for cameras, but behind the scenes, they argued over personal differences and control. But the darkest twist came later. But just when fans thought Edd China had disappeared for good, he made a comeback. Edd announced his own channel that showed every step of the process without any restrictions. But building his own brand wasn't easy. Unlike his time on Wheeler Dealers, Edd didn't have a massive crew to support him. He had to handle the entire process himself. Edd's love for engineering even pushed him into electric vehicles.
Electrifying classic cars is absolutely the way to go. Not all of them, I have to say. Obviously, there are some cars where it's all about the engine.
He's always been an inventor at heart. But now, it changed into something even bigger, converting classic cars to electric power. It was complicated. It was way more than anyone had agreed to, but Edd didn't want to play it safe. He wanted to show that classic design and modern technology could coexist. However, independent projects meant tighter budgets and more pressure to deliver, and that wasn't the end of it. While Edd's garage revival looked simple, making high-quality content without the support of a TV network wasn't easy. Edd had sponsors and a loyal audience, but he also carried the financial risks on his shoulders. It was slow work, but it built something strong. Edd wasn't just restoring cars. He was every project himself. But through it all, Edd believed in the process. His garage revival show proved there was still a massive audience for honest, detailed car content. But then something surprising happened. While fans were busy waiting for the next episode of Garage Revival, Edd China was already working behind the scenes on his most ambitious project yet. The concept was simple, but powerful. Edd was taking on the future, and it had the potential to change the way people see classic cars forever. Edd focused his entire career on restoring old machines, bringing forgotten cars back to life. But now, he faced a new challenge. And then came the electric conversions. For some people, it looked impossible, but Edd saw it differently. He wasn't destroying classics, he was preserving them. He added custom battery setups and focused on prototype builds. It wasn't easy. Every conversion brought new technical challenges. But if anyone could do it, it was Edd China. But then came the worst casting disaster of all. Just when it seemed like Edd China had revealed everything, the biggest surprise was still kept hidden. Behind the scenes, while fans were busy watching his projects and speculating about his next move, Edd was quietly building something much bigger than anyone expected. The rumors about patents being filed and mysterious prototypes spotted in development. But the more people searched, the clearer it became. Edd China wasn't done with the car world. He was gearing up to change it completely. Sources close to the project revealed that Edd had been working on launching his own line of vehicles. Not just restored classics, but an entirely new brand blending vintage car design based on modern, eco-friendly technology. For years, people wondered why Edd left Wheeler Dealers at the height of his fame. Now, it's obvious. He wasn't just walking away from a TV show. He was walking towards something bigger, a project where he controls the vision, the process without rushed deadlines. As technology cuts down on emissions and classic cars face extinction, Edd China might be crazy enough to keep automotive history alive. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for further updates and click the next video on screen for another interesting story.